just an amateur. You can try as hard as you can, but you can't handle us. I'm waiting at the pit and signing autographs. I'm always in first place, you always in the back. Homie, I'm all pro, and you're just an amateur. You can try as hard as you can, but you can't handle us. I'm waiting at the pit and signing autographs. I'm always in first place, you always in the back. Homie, I'm all pro.
All Pro Wrestling faithful, welcome to another exciting edition of Gym Wars. We've got a fantastic tag team elimination match as JR Kratos and the former champ Timothy Thatcher take on the current champ Dylan Drake and old school Oliver John.
JR Kratos replacing his trainer Sir Samurai in this match after their dastardly attack that we saw from Oliver John and Dylan Drake last week. And what an elimination match we have coming.
Of course, now we're going to take a quick look back at the Universal Heavyweight Championship match that occurred inside the steel cage here when Timothy Thatcher was defeated by Dylan Drake for him, and Dylan Drake once again became the Universal Heavyweight Champion.
And you want to talk about one of the classic contests here in APW in the history of All Pro Wrestling. This one has to rank up with one of them, this cage match between Timothy Thatcher and Dylan Drake, two of the best in APW history, would you say so?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and the thing I really liked about this cage match was both men approached it in a different fashion. They didn't, they didn't attack it in the way that most wrestlers typically attack a cage match. It was a much slower pace, but they definitely kept me enthralled the entire time.
Well, it was a fight for the championship. Absolutely, you felt it every second. You see the barbed wire in the middle of the ring. Dylan Drake knocking Timothy Thatcher into it.
I think that was Thatcher's big mistake, bringing that barbed wire into the match.
Timothy Thatcher was the one that brought the barbed wire into this match, but Dylan Drake was the first person to use it.
Oh, Dylan Drake used it very effectively numerous times, of course, putting Thatcher in that beta breaker chest first on that barbed wire.
I imagine we'll probably see it in the clips here coming up soon.
Absolutely.
But just look at Dylan Drake and the new leaf that he has turned. Using the barbed wire in the middle of the ring. You didn't see something like this when he wrestled Oliver John for the championship a couple of years ago.
No, Dylan Drake definitely had the fans' favor then. And here we see Oliver John coming out. At this point, I thought that Oliver John was here to get under the skin of Dylan Drake.
Well, that's what they're setting up right now. Oliver John getting in the face of Dylan Drake essentially as close as he can with the steel cage separating them.
Yeah, like you said earlier, Oliver John was defeated by Dylan Drake for Dylan Drake to become the Universal Champion for a first time. But then, later on in the match, as Dylan Drake, we see Dylan Drake trying to escape here. Timothy Thatcher, holding on one more time.
And catching it. This is very late in the match, and Timothy Thatcher was able to catch that kick. Took a lot out of him, but how much does that say about Timothy Thatcher? We've been talking about Dylan Drake a lot.
Timothy Thatcher has the resilience of no one I've ever seen. He is just the stamina and the endurance that this guy possesses, just absolutely second to none.
And just look at him. He's clutching his midsection, but he has knocked Dylan Drake completely out. This is his opportunity to retain the championship.
Of course, now Timothy Thatcher's got him up, going for a second London calling here. There's, like I said earlier, I think that Timothy Thatcher's big mistake was bringing that barbed wire in. If he had been more confident in his body's ability to absorb punishment and to dish out punishment, he may not have had to try to go for that London calling twice. It could have made a big difference in the match.
That's true. And here, Oliver John smashing the cage door right in the head of Timothy Thatcher. Another huge mistake of Thatcher trusting Oliver John.
Oliver John has shown his colors so many times that you have to know that Timothy Thatcher should. You're right. Timothy Thatcher should have been much more aware of what was going on inside Oliver John's head.
And the plan comes together. Dylan Drake captures the Universal Heavyweight Championship.
We get the pleasure, for the first time ever here, teaming up. But we've been a ridiculous amount of stupid places in our lives, and we've done a ridiculous amount of stupid things in our lives. But in 2 weeks, here, British Messiah Timothy Thatcher, Sir Samurai, old school Oliver John, Dylan Drake. Sounds like a party to me.
That might be alright. Those two sods been in my hair now. Mr. John came down during our cage match and cost me my Universal Heavyweight title. I'm not one to moan, because all is fair and proper.
And you see here now Sir Samurai celebrating a victory over Joe DeSoul previously on Gym Wars, and this was the final thing that led up to today's huge tag team match. You see Dylan Drake and Oliver John attacking Sir Samurai from behind.
And of course, Sir Samurai and Timothy Thatcher had already been scheduled and announced as opponents for Oliver John and Dylan Drake at this point, and now they were just trying to make sure that they could get Timothy Thatcher one-on-one and just be able a two-on-one, yeah, and lay waste to him.
You see here just double teaming Sir Samurai. You see Dylan Drake has Sir Samurai stuck in the beta breaker. He's got nowhere to go, and the endless knee drops from Oliver John on the back of the head and neck of Sir Samurai.
Oliver John calling the shots here, telling Dylan Drake to pull that Samurai to the middle of the ring, and John goes up top and comes down, gets ready to come down across with that big knee, but JR Kratos comes in and makes the save.
And all of that has led to today's huge match. JR Kratos teams with the former Universal Heavyweight Champion Timothy Thatcher to take on your current champion Dylan Drake and the man who helped him win, Oliver John.
Things are set to explode here today on Gym Wars. We've got to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we will have this fantastic match for you all pro wrestling fans.
Do you have what it takes to become a pro wrestler? The APW Bootcamp Training School is accepting applicants for pro wrestlers, managers, valets, and referees. All Pro Wrestling home APW Bootcamp is where future legends are born. For the last 19 years, APW has been the leader in talent development. Top graduates include The Great Khali, Crash Holly, Spike Dudley. For your free brochure, call us at 510-785-8396.
We are back as Oliver John and Dylan Drake make their way to the ring. This is going to be a fantastic match here today. Oliver John showing his true colors just a few weeks ago here on Gym Wars.
Introducing first, at a total combined weight of 461 pounds, the team of Old School Oliver John and the APW Universal Heavyweight Champion, the Golden Boy, Dylan Drake.
So what's your call on this match, Matthew Fiala?
Of course, Dylan Drake, Oliver John, I think they've shown that they can kick the tar out of Timothy Thatcher and JR Kratos just whenever they want. I was talking to Dylan Drake not too long ago, and he was telling me exactly why he walks on that side of the ring when he makes his entrance.
Why is that?
He doesn't want to risk any of the APW sheep getting their little grubby fingers on that rope. He said, and I quote, "This cost more than Shane Stoley's annual salary." He said that to me, point blank. I was like, whoa, dude. That was a strange thing to say about my broadcast colleague, but he is the champion.
Dylan Drake has just become a real jerk.
God save
That's the nicest word I think I can use on TV here with Gym Wars. Let's call it another company. I might have used something a little bit stronger.
Like what? Tell me. I want to know right now.
I'd be far more clever.
That's fine. And you now hear the music of Timothy Thatcher, the former champion, the one that Oliver John and Dylan Drake beat together as a team. You have to say that.
No, absolutely. Timothy Thatcher was double teamed in the cage, and he really didn't stand a chance.
And their opponents, first from London, England, weighing in at 16 stone, the British Messiah, Timothy Thatcher.
Timothy Thatcher just staring holes through Oliver John and Dylan Drake.
What is going through his mind right now?
The pain and despair for Oliver John and the Universal Heavyweight Champion here on Gym Wars today. That's clearly what's going through his mind.
Oh, you hear the APW faithful already. JR Kratos hasn't even made his entrance yet.
JR Kratos, very, very popular here with the All Pro Wrestling fans. Just a beast of a man. Every time he comes out, the fans are so excited to see him make his way from the locker room. You hear those tribal drums going. See him step out on stage, and they are just ready to see some action.
And his tag team partner from Sacramento, California, weighing 267 pounds, JR Kratos.
The introductions are out of the way, and JR Kratos and Timothy Thatcher get set to step into the ring. Thatcher playing it very smart and waiting for his tag team partner to get here before he steps into the ring with the likes of Oliver John and Dylan Drake.
It's true. You don't want to give Oliver John and Dylan Drake any chance to get you from behind. You don't want to give them any opportunity to take you out before the bell even rings. You've seen already that they are willing to do that with a brutal attack on Sir Samurai last week on Gym Wars.
Oliver John already given seniors official Sparky Ballard a ration of crap here, and the match hasn't even started yet.
Just wants to make sure that Sparky Ballard calls it down the middle. That is one thing that I can respect from Oliver John. He wants true officiating, true fair officiating from the officials of APW.
So what you're saying is that you don't respect his actions in helping Dylan Drake get the Universal Heavyweight Championship? Good for you, Matthew. It's nice to see you kind of starting to turn that corner a little bit there.
I need to think about that for a minute. Yeah.
You know, we are doing commentary on a match here. You could, Matthew.
I am sorry. Let's get back to the action, Shane. Here, this tag team match is just about to be. Look at the robes. Look at and the jacket, but the robes. Look at the robes.
Very, very nice. I got to say that Oliver John and Dylan Drake make quite a pair.
Those are good robes. More than your annual salary, he said to me, Shane.
You're a jerk.
I'm a jerk. He's the one who said it. I'm quoting the Universal Heavyweight Champion.
I'm sure Dylan Drake said that, and I'm sure you agreed with him, and you both had a good laugh.
Well, I agree that the robe probably did cost more than your annual salary. That's probably very true.
Yeah, I can't see spending that much money on a glorified bath towel.
But when glorified bath towel, no. But when you're the Universal Heavyweight Champion and you're riding high, and the ladies are like, "Hey man, let's go hang out," and the money's coming, and then you go to Vegas, and then you walk away with something like that. That's the lifestyle of Dylan Drake. You know what it's like. You've read the books, the autobiographies.
I suppose that's very true, but the dry cleaning bills alone on robes like those must be incredibly expensive.
Dylan Drake can handle it.
I'm sure he can.
He's the Universal Heavyweight Champion.
You know, he just spent a lot of time.
And it's proof that he's put his money and his time and his effort into his wrestling career.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Dylan Drake, for years has just been the benchmark for what is a professional wrestler here at APW.
Including miraculous, glorious robes.
I'm talking about talent and ability and the tendency to actually get in there and get the job done when it really counts. You know, current actions notwithstanding, Dylan Drake has truly been an amazing athlete for years here in APW. We're talking about 5 years now, has truly been the standard bearer for All Pro Wrestling. Whether the fans loved him or hated him.
I can't argue with that. He is the standard bearer here in All Pro Wrestling. He's the Universal Heavyweight Champion. And there is no more wasting time here, Shane. This match is about to begin. Timothy Thatcher is inches away from getting his hands on Oliver John.
Oliver John has got to be very, very worried about what Timothy Thatcher has got in store for him here right now.
You have to think that Timothy Thatcher blames Oliver John solely for the loss of the Universal Heavyweight Championship. You have to believe that.
Well, I mean, that's a fact. That's not anything that you need to believe. That's a fact. Timothy Thatcher was going to retain the Universal Heavyweight title, and Oliver John slammed the door of the cage on Thatcher's head as he was making his exit. Dylan Drake was making no move to try and stop Thatcher from exiting the cage.
I'm the champion now. I say when we start. You know what?
Dylan Drake needing another moment to stretch out and be ready. I can understand this.
Using stall tactics here to try and pull Thatcher out of his game.
Stall tactics, you say? Maybe he's just trying to make sure he gets all those kinks out of his shoulder to avoid injury. He wants a lengthy title run.
I saw Dylan Drake get to the building at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. He was getting massages and tanning and talking to the press. If he's not ready for this match by now, he's never going to be.
And the match is underway. Look at this lockup between Timothy Thatcher and Dylan Drake. Dylan Drake going behind.
Oh, Dylan Drake thrown over by Thatcher as he tries to escape, but a nice head scissors by the champ. Thatcher trying to break the hold here.
Ask him, he's got a hold. That's a hold. That's a finish, man. You can finish him out.
Oliver John maybe giving a little bit too much credence to the head scissors there.
But look at this, Timothy Thatcher handstand. This is a unique way to try to get out of this.
Oh, that's clever. He puts all the weight down on Dylan Drake's ankles. I don't believe I've ever seen that in a match before.
Right on the ankles, broke the hold. Timothy Thatcher now on top with an arm wringer on Dylan Drake, who's all the way down on his knees on the mat.
This is not a position that Dylan Drake wants to be in.
But he scrambles to the ropes. He's able to break the hold, and look at the piercing gaze of JR Kratos in the corner.
Thatcher, very slow and methodical. I mean, I'm honestly surprised that he just didn't jump in there and try and kill Thatcher, or kill Oliver John and Drake.
If there's one thing about Timothy Thatcher, he always has a cool head. No matter what he's got going on, no matter what he's facing, he keeps his composure.
That's very true. That's very true. That's very good of you to point out. I just, like I said, I'm just surprised that he didn't jump. I mean, every man has got a breaking point. And honestly, I would say that.
Whoa. Pinfall attempt here. Only a 1 count. Thatcher kicking out.
As I was going to say, as I would have thought that the way he was cost the heavyweight title and the way his trainer and mentor, Sir Samurai, was injured, that would have been enough to push a lesser man over the edge. And Thatcher just able to maintain his cool. Very
Big
impressive.
tag here. JR Kratos, now the legal man.
JR Kratos, now there's a guy with a little bit of a temper.
JR Kratos is big, mean, knows it, and loves it.
The fans love him for it, too. Dropping that big elbow right on the shoulder of Dylan Drake. Now wearing out that arm. Helping set up possibly for that Thatcher stretch.
Yes, that's very smart teamwork. Of course, both JR Kratos and Timothy Thatcher, underlings of Sir Samurai. You need to understand, Shane, how important Sir Samurai has been in NorCal wrestling.
Oh,
over
absolutely.
The last several years.
He's helped form the careers of quite a few fantastic wrestlers. You know, like you said, guys like Timothy Thatcher, guys like JR Kratos, even Ultra Girl Brittany Wonder, all products of Samurai's tutelage. So no doubt that there's just a plethora of talent that have come out of Samurai's dojo there.
And of course, Dylan Drake struggling to keep JR Kratos down to go after that knee.
Wearing him out, setting up for that Beta Breakers, of course. Wearing out those knees and also taking the legs out of a guy like JR Kratos leaves him in big trouble with that big spear finish that he has.
You see JR Kratos stumbling already. The damage done by Dylan Drake, very apparent.
Timothy Thatcher coming in and stalking Drake. Fires that big boot into the ribs there. Again, on that side where he applies that Thatcher stretch. This is very, very impressive teamwork by JR Kratos and Thatcher.
Both men wearing down the opposing team in the hopes of one man being able to snatch on one submission move. It's not a standard tag team tactic, but it might be successful.
Well, I mean, you know, there are tag teams that do it. The reason it's so impressive is because I don't recall a time when JR Kratos and Timothy Thatcher have teamed before. When you think about it, teams like the Andersons and Midnight Express, they were very good at picking a body part apart. But with a team like Thatcher and JR Kratos, which is not a regular tag team, for them to be able to employ those tactics is very, very impressive.
Students of the game, both of them. And if you want to talk about students of the game, how about a teacher of the game, Oliver John? I mean, he's the grand professor of it all, isn't he?
He is definitely a crafty veteran when it comes to professional wrestling. Just a sneaky, dastardly, underhanded guy, too.
He knows how to win.
I'm not taking anything away from the former Universal Heavyweight Champion here. That make no mistake about it. I mean, I have loved watching Oliver John wrestle on numerous occasions. That match with Dylan Drake in the steel cage was just an absolute classic. So many great matches that Oliver John has had here in All Pro Wrestling.
Maybe this tag team match will be added to one of them as they slowly, Timothy Thatcher, Oliver John is slowly feeling each other out. Very strange for so late in the match.
Well, you know, like we said, that neither of these teams are usual teams, and it's almost, rather than being two experienced tag teams going at it, whereas the pace quickens, it stays there, it's almost like constantly restarting a one-on-one competition every time a different competitor steps in the ring.
That's a very insightful thought there, Shane.
Thank you very much. That's my one for 2013 right there.
That's great, but Oliver John and JR Kratos having a shouting match in the corner. And oh, here comes the big man, tagged in. Oh, it's going to get good here.
The blood is up. We've got to take a commercial break, but we'll be right back with more of this great tag team action on Gym Wars.
Are you or your son or daughter celebrating a birthday soon? There's no better way to celebrate a birthday than to throw the birthday person a pro wrestling themed birthday party. We have several packages available, including renting our facility with a customized pro wrestling show. Bring your birthday cake and invite your guests to attend a private pro wrestling birthday party. If you are interested in having All Pro Wrestling be a part of your birthday celebration, give us a call at 510-785-8396 or visit the website at www.allprowrestling.com.
5, 4.
If you would like to get involved behind the scenes with pro wrestling, we are looking for you. All Pro Wrestling is always on the lookout for talented interns in the areas of television production, including commentators, graphic design, and website design. We also have highly paid commission sales and marketing openings. For more information, email your qualifications and resume and tell us which area behind the scenes you'd love to be involved in. For your free brochure, call us at 510-785-8396 or visit us at www.allprowrestling.net.
Welcome back, Gym Wars fan. Oliver John and JR Kratos still stalking each other in the ring here. Oliver John is... there's two things Oliver John is good at: professional wrestling and not being able to shut up.
That's true. I'll give you that one. His mouth has gotten him into trouble on many occasions, especially right here in APW, and especially right now. There's one man that you don't want to get on the bad side of, and that's JR Kratos. I know from experience.
Oliver John could get in that ring and wrestle 90 miles an hour. The only thing that has the ability to pass him when he's going that speed is his mouth. It can just run circles around him. Oliver John is the master at taking you down to the mat and getting under your skin at the same time.
Oliver John slowly, maybe timid in his approach against JR Kratos.
Oliver John in the ring with anybody else would just absolutely dwarf them. But he gets in there up against a beast like JR Kratos, and JR Kratos just makes him look absolutely teeny.
And you need to remember that JR Kratos is a superhuman. Coming off, he barely had any momentum behind that, and he was able to knock Oliver John off of his feet.
Very impressive by JR Kratos, and showing Dylan Drake his physique, trying to get under the skin of Dylan Drake after all the stall tactics and all the mind games that John and Drake have been playing. JR Kratos throwing a little bit right back at him.
JR Kratos just patiently waiting for Oliver John to take the time that he always takes to get back into the ring. Earlier in this match, Dylan Drake said he was going to wrestle under his own terms on his own time. I think JR Kratos might be applying that strategy himself.
JR Kratos has only one speed. And you know, sometimes that is to his detriment, but he is always full speed ahead.
Well-placed knee to the ribs of JR Kratos is enough to stumble him. And Oliver John, again, the experience, he knew exactly where to place that, and now he's on top.
Oliver John, definitely very crafty. And like I said, when JR Kratos goes at full speed ahead like he always does, it gives a veteran like Oliver John the opportunity to step in there and take advantage of the mistakes that such a young, inexperienced wrestler can make.
But of course, JR Kratos with that strength is what he needs, strength and opportunity. And Oliver John is again on the outside, hiding in the faithful,
Almost, yeah. I'm not the faithful, the All Pro Wrestling fans here know what to do when the wrestlers get out there in that fabled war zone, and that's pick up your chairs and get out of the way.
Get out of the way, especially with JR Kratos. You never know when he's going to fly over the top rope.
No, I've seen some amazing things from JR Kratos. He moves around like a luchador with the strength of a mountain lion.
Big,
I swear.
Speedy, very, very athletic for somebody his size.
Oliver John looking a little frustrated here now.
Again, the reset of the match, just like you said. Two teams of singles wrestlers.
You definitely do see a different style of tag team match when you've got two singles wrestlers on a team as opposed to two tag team wrestlers. Big backdrop by Kratos.
And JR Kratos is done. He's let Timothy Thatcher have his rest, and Thatcher is now back in there with Oliver John going a mile a minute.
Of course, Matt Theo never able to secure a tag team title shot for his team, Good Credit, Bad Credit.
Unfortunately, no, that didn't happen. But Damian Grundy and Nick Ledry did challenge for the tag team championship a number of months ago.
Oh! Nasty forearm right to the side of the head.
Doesn't matter.
That's the inexperience of JR Kratos right there. Oh! Woo! European uppercut as Oliver John comes off the apron. Timothy Thatcher cuts him off in midair.
But you see there in the back of your screens at home, Dylan Drake jumps JR Kratos from behind and drags him out of frame.
That's just that again going back to the inexperience of JR Kratos compared to the other three wrestlers in the ring here. That's clearly going to make a big difference when it comes down to it.
Absolutely. All three, Oliver John, Dylan Drake, Timothy Thatcher, years of experience behind them. JR Kratos still in his rookie year.
Throwing Dylan Drake right into Roland Alexander and ring announcer Stephen Lawrence's lap there.
Whoa, whoa.
Oh! Oliver John has just driven Thatcher's crotch right into the ring post there.
Referee Sparky Ballard has disqualified Oliver John. Oliver John has been eliminated.
Our first elimination here at All Pro Wrestling Gym Wars is Sparky Ballard has thrown Oliver John out of this match.
Oliver John lost his temper like he often does, gets himself disqualified for shoving the ref and sending Timothy Thatcher balls first right into the ring post.
Yes, that was a very, very, very tender area to be planting into that cold steel.
But wait a minute, Sparky's counting him out. If Timothy Thatcher doesn't crawl back in the ring very soon, he's going to be out of here too.
Oh, that's 10. Sparky Ballard has counted out Timothy Thatcher.
Timothy Thatcher has been counted out and eliminated.
Now it's just down to JR Kratos and Dylan Drake here.
Now we got it one-on-one. The Universal Heavyweight Champion Dylan Drake in the finals of this contest against JR Kratos.
He's just laying those boots in. Dylan Drake looking a little bit worn out, of course. Luckily, Sparky, I guess lucky for JR Kratos, Sparky didn't see him throwing Dylan Drake into the ring announcer's table there.
Oh, man, a shin breaker by Dylan Drake onto the beast of a man, the superhuman JR Kratos.
Again, trying to take out those legs, eliminating a good portion of JR Kratos' repertoire and setting him up for that beta breakers.
Not sure exactly what Dylan Drake said to the APW sheep out there, but they didn't like it.
They don't like too much Dylan Drake has to say these days, I gotta say.
Dylan Drake very confidently wrapping JR Kratos, trying to look at the powerful legs of JR Kratos.
JR Kratos able to get the foot in the chest and block that beta breaker that Dylan Drake was setting him up for. Oh, big boot right to the mush there. JR Kratos. Oh, hits the spear. Dylan Drake is leveled. 1, 2, and 3. JR Kratos picks up the victory for his team. Dylan Drake has been eliminated.
Your winners via pinfall in 14 minutes, 22 seconds. The team of the British Messiah, Timothy Thatcher and JR Kratos.
JR Kratos knocking the wind right out of Dylan Drake there.
A huge spear out of nowhere. JR Kratos pins the Universal Champion.
Very impressive win there. Now we're taking a look here as Oliver John shoves Sparky Ballard, which prompted the elimination there, and then proceeds to crotch Thatcher on that metal post, and then a big spear. JR Kratos taking Dylan Drake down.
Dylan Drake, the champion, still clutching his ribs in the middle of the ring.
He's in a bad way here.
He can have a cracked rib.
Was that? Oh,
that was JR
Kratos screaming.
Come on. Come on, Shane. Get behind JR Kratos. You know you want to, you sheep.
I'm behind all the competitors here at All Pro Wrestling. I have an appreciation for the hard work and dedication that all of these men put in. I don't understand some of the tactics that some of them use, but...
Turn my lights on! Come on!
Whoa! Adam Thornstowe in the ring! Oh! Kicks Dylan Drake's head right off his shoulders.
I'm speechless. I didn't know Adam Thornstowe was cleared to return.
I thought he was pretty much done.
The severe shoulder injury that Dylan Drake gave him. And now Adam Thornstowe back in the APW ring, super kicking Dylan Drake.
Did you see that head snap back, Matthew?
I have felt the super kick of Adam Thornstowe. It hurts.
Yeah, that's right. I'd forgotten all about that. That was fantastic. Dylan Drake's out cold in the ring, recipient of a spear and a super kick. Fans, thank you for joining us. We'll be back real soon with another great match on All Pro Wrestling Gym Wars.